Okay, so day 2 of our wall pocket planter. So I'm going to take it out of the bag, check out how it's doing. It's drying out a little bit. It's still a little bit on the plastic side. So I'm going to start out by doing some smoothing. While I'm smoothing it out, I wanted to take the time to talk about personalizing your artwork. It's really up to you what you add to your planter to make it yours. In Ceramics 1, I'd like you to add a minimum of one thing to your planter. And in Ceramics 2, I'd like you to add a minimum of 2 things to your planter. Okay, so now I'm ready. I've got my inspiration image that I'm using. And I'm going to do a very loose interpretation of my inspiration image. I'm also going to do 2 seedlings because it'll be more sturdy than 1 seedling. I'm going to put aside my planter and I'm going to roll out some coils. I thought you might enjoy seeing my own artistic process, so I'm going to make this planter as if it were my own. One of the things I wanted you to take away from your experience in my classroom is an understanding that artwork is a reflection of who makes it. If I were to leave this just like this, it wouldn't stick on. To slip and score this on before I do anything. I know I've talked to you guys about how a good artist listens to their work and makes adjustments and changes as needed. Like what's going on there, how it's just kind of coming back together and merging together. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. Again, there's slip, score, and pressure. So I'm going to add a little pressure to that. You know what, I'm going to incorporate that in. I'll take that little bit that I cut off. If your idea has changed as you start working on your planter, that's a good thing. Go with it. One of the things that I like about hand-rolled coils over and above the coil extruder is I can change them so I can taper them. Okay, and you don't have to use coils. It might make more sense for you to use slabs or chunks of clay. Look at your idea. Think of your idea. What makes more sense to you? Just remember, whenever you're adding one piece of clay to another piece of clay, it's important to remember those 3 steps to slip, score, and add pressure. So I put my scraps with a little bit of water back into the clay and got a fresh piece of clay for the next step that I'm doing. So I need a slab. I don't want to go too thin on my slab. One of the cool things about slabs is I can make them look thin and still have the integrity of a thick slab. So this slab's about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I want it to look thin like a leaf. So if I just pinch out the edge of my leaves, they're going to look thinner. See how this gives the illusion that it's thinner? But yet it's still 1/4 of an inch thick right in here where I need it to be. Remember, the ideal thickness of clay is between 1/4 and 1/2 an inch. So if you are looking to get a thin look to your piece, leave your project thick, at least 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch thick, and just thin out the edge. Whenever I have anything sticking out like this, I want to be really careful with it as I work. Anywhere where you might have something stick out, see if you can push it back and attach it somewhere else to your planter so that it's more stable. at some point I need to put a hole in my planter to hang it from. And I'm just going to take the straw and put it through here, kind of at an angle. My hole is going to be hidden by my leaves. So see how I'm going to have a nail that just kind of goes into the wall at an angle, like that. So I have a hole in the back of my planter. And your hole can be visible, just like your ornament was, or you can hide it with something if you want. It's completely up to you. I still have some smoothing to do. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to work on it some more. So I'm gonna just kind of clean up my work area and then wrap it up again. I don't want you to leave it unwrapped, just one bag. You know, if it was gonna sit for a few days, I'd do 2 bags. But I'm just gonna put it right here, leave it in my work area, and come back and work on it tomorrow.